series of very busy weekends for you and the rest of the crew, and of course all of the exercise participants out that way.
That's right, Bruce. It was a busy weekend indeed. There's a lot of activity here in the Wonju area as the units begin to prepare the area for the exercise.
But lest we forget that the exercise is not limited to the Wonju area, and that's about what you are about to tell us, is some of the action that was going on in areas other than right around your neck of the woods.
That's right, Bruce. As a matter of fact, those people just getting here are in for a pleasant surprise. Whether you're a frequent or an occasional traveler, chances are you've experienced a hassle of some kind getting through an airport. Army personnel arriving at Osan Air Base aren't suffering through that, thanks to the folks at ADAC, also known as the Arrival Departure Airlift Control Group. They have virtually eliminated the hurry up and wait policy. AFKN's Mike Hartman has more.
When the aircraft hits the ground, the journey isn't over. Troops must now be deployed to their specific areas for the exercise. Assisting them here at Osan is the Arrival Departure Airlift Control Group, or ADAC. The ADAC OIC, Army Captain Lee Lawrence.
We're actually an arrival and departure coordination unit between the other supporting elements that assist getting the team spirit people from stateside into their base camps. We assist with the unloading of the people, the reorganization on the ground, and putting them on bus transportation or military transportation and relocating them at the base camp that they're going to operate out of.
This ADAC unit is a joint effort shared by personnel of the 19th Support Command from nearby Camp Humphreys and the 31st Support Group, Alabama National Guard.
And we are capstone to the 19th Support Unit here in Korea. The ADAC responsibility is being handled by the 23rd Support Group, which is under the 19th Support Group area. We're here to assist the 23rd in accomplishing that mission.
The group ushers the troops directly to their transportation. Getting them to their base camp quickly is, of course, part of the exercise. Not long after personnel of Osan's 611th Mass downloads bag and baggage, the rollout begins to the final destination, leaving the ADAC to await another mission. ADAC, members of the 19th Support Command, Camp Humphreys, and the 31st Support Group, Alabama National Guard, working together at Osan Air Base, getting troops to and from the field. Air Force Sergeant Mike Hartman, AFKN News, Osan.
As soldiers arriving in Korea make their way toward the exercise area, the vehicles they'll be using are already there. Tonight, AFKN's Rob Tankersley has this report on the soldiers who are at the railhead point to greet their vehicles and offer their mechanical expertise if needed.
In the ongoing process of team spirit preparation, getting vehicles ready is an ever-important step. So far, a lot of the emphasis has been placed on movement of vehicles from ship to shore, but maintenance is needed for every vehicle that has an operator, and the first step happens at the Wonju railhead. Members of the 595th Maintenance Company from K-16 Air Base in Seoul greet the trucks and other machines at Wonju. Their job is a part of the ongoing chain of events. Sergeant Angelo Morton of the 595th tells more about their duties.
The purpose for safe operation, right, we just, start the vehicles up, right, make sure they're properly running, make sure they're properly air pressure, and make sure everything is working okay on the vehicles. Then we check the tires for air pressure, and then we check the truck all over and see if it have any problems with it. If it does, we'll fix it on spot corrections. And if we have any electrical problems, we'll troubleshoot it to find what the problem is, and we'll fix that problem.
The trucks and other vehicles depart the railhead for the staging area at Camp Long. Another part of the picture that will be Team Spirit 87. Army Sergeant Rob Tankersley, AFKN News, Wonju.
In today's Army, there are good soldiers and there are good people. There's a soldier at Camp Long who'll find his name under both of those categories. AFKN's Mark Cummings has this report on Sergeant Gary Lott of B Company, 304th Signal Battalion, and his ability to keep his fellow soldiers laughing.
Although he's only been assigned here in Korea for 5 months now, Sergeant Gary Lott has already made a positive influence on the soldiers' morale at Camp Long. Lott, assigned to Bravo Company, 304th Signal Battalion, 1st Signal Brigade at Camp Long, makes sure that vehicles and equipment are dispatched and maintained routinely. It's a job that Lott says is challenging.
It's really competitive, It makes your mind, it takes a lot out of you. You have to really stay on top of it, and there's a lot of people looking at you from up top. You got to make sure that things is done properly.
That's what Lott does on duty. When he's off duty, the South Carolina native thrives on bringing smiles to the faces of Camp Long soldiers. Recently, Lott performed on stage, lip-syncing a Ray Stevens tune during a local talent show. Although it was his first ever on-stage performance, Lott still considers his habit of making people laugh a hobby.
It really is. I enjoy doing stuff like that, you know, to entertain people, to make them laugh. I figure if I can keep the people laughing and everything, then I'm happy, you know, because I can't stand to see a sad face. I think to keep people happy and keep them smiling in such a place like this, the Republic of Korea, it's magnificent, you know, and I love doing it. Just keep them laughing.
Army Sergeant Mark Cummings, AFKN News, Camp Long.
And tonight at 10, Bruce, our very own Carl Fabrizio will be joining Daniela via microwave, and he'll be talking about a traveling music variety show entertaining soldiers in this area.
Okay, so you got a lot of entertainment going on out there. It's nice to know there are some fun and games involved.
That's right, Bruce.
And, of course, Sergeant Carl Fabrizio will be in with Daniela tonight live via microwave. And, Robert, thanks to you and the rest of the crew out there, and at least as far as me and you go, we'll hook up again tomorrow night, 6 o'clock, 6:30,
right,
thereabouts.
Nice haircut.
Okay, thanks a lot, Bob. Appreciate it. Nice haircut. In other news, the Army has opened bidding on a replacement for the Sergeant York air defense gun.